Webster Wheeler. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
To have you here. Please go ahead.
I'm pleased to be here. My name is Webster Wheeler. I'm a private individual. I'm here as a correspondent. I'm also an exotic animal enthusiast. I'm an exotic animal enthusiast. I've been an exotic animal enthusiast and hobbyist for over 50 years. Let me first start off by saying that I didn't prepare any specific presentations. I'm a hobbyist. I'm here as an individual. I'm here representing my enthusiasm for keeping exotic animals as pets. Of course, this prohibited bylaw applies to me too. I'd like to say that I like all of the proposals that Council has made, except I think that there should be maybe a few more definitions, a little bit more clarity. We spent a lot of time talking about animal welfare today. Let me define a couple of terms. Exotic animal, what I mean by an exotic animal. An exotic animal is an animal that's not native and it's not domesticated. So there's a lot of animals that fall in that category. For me in particular, I've been keeping tropical fish for over 50 years. These are considered exotic animals. These are also considered wild animals, yet we can maintain them in naturalistic aquariums with no problem whatsoever. Of course, in the beginning that wasn't true, but we've evolved a lot since then. And now hobbyists, aquarium hobbyists can keep marine coral reefs in their aquarium and have indeed contributed to the base of scientific knowledge surrounding how to maintain and propagate corals. And that is something that is being employed in the scientific community right now to help prevent the destruction of coral reefs and and help reverse that by actually propagating corals artificially. Animal welfare, that's another term that's been thrown around quite a lot today, and it distresses me that there doesn't seem to be a definition, and the very people that are responsible for animal welfare are not here. Where are the veterinarians? They're the ones that set the standard for these things. Why aren't they here? I would like to just address some of the things that are going on before Council right now. I'm just going to move down to the summary part of your report. It says that this report establishes 6 new criteria that will be used to manage the prohibited animals list and help evaluate if certain animals should be added or removed from the list. The process to add and remove animals from the prohibited animal list will remain the same and require staff to report to the City Council. And you have criteria determining if the animal's on federal provincial list, determining if the animal's poisonous or venomous, if the animal presents an undue danger, if its welfare needs can be met, if it's invasive, or if it'll be a public nuisance. Now, and I'm retired. I'm 62 years old. I have no ongoing financial interest in the pet business whatsoever. I've just been an animal hobbyist. I've kept tropical fish for over 50 years. I've kept reptiles for over 25 years. All kinds of fish, all kinds of reptiles. Snakes, fish, frogs, lizards, insects, you name it. I'm still alive. I have all my fingers and toes. I haven't been killed by anything that I've kept. And there are many, many, many exotic animals that can be kept by responsible animal hobbyists in Toronto. I would like to suggest that these things that you've come up with are very good. We should determine the impact of an exotic animal in our society. However, I would say that these things are not really criteria. They're more along the lines of goals. A criteria would be something like you have your goal that you want to determine something, and then you have your facts, and then you have your criteria, and you filter your
Please
facts.
wrap up.
You filter your facts through your criteria to obtain your goals. So I would like to
Thank you,
see
Mr. Wheeler.
specific
Any questions
criteria.
to the deputant? Deputy Mayor De Vermeerke, please go ahead.
Thank you. I didn't quite catch at the beginning. You said did you say you like to keep reptiles or just exotic animals was your
I've kept reptiles for over 25 years.
reptiles? Okay. So would you agree with me that in general, the exotic species that have been, I'll call it maybe accidentally released in the province of Ontario, have really devastated parts of this province, like the Asian carp,
How so?
sea lampreys. They wiped out our fisheries.
Well, I agree that zebra mussels and all these kind of things are supposed to sea lampreys, but I don't think there's any hobbyists keeping sea lampreys.
But you don't know that.
I don't know that, but I can
You're a
say,
hobbyist. You can keep anything you want, right?
sure you can. Of course, I don't know that. I am a member of quite a few forums, exotic animal groups. It's a small community. It would be very unusual for for a large number of people to be keeping sea lampreys and it not be known amongst the exotic animal community.
But if we have bylaws that allow you to do anything you want, not you personally, but you and I and everyone together, if somebody was a hobbyist like yourself and said, I'm not into coral, my friends are into coral and they're growing reefs in their garage, my preference is to grow mussels and carps and crabs. That's all had a devastating impact.
I think that all is addressed by the Canadian Food Inspection Agency and also Wildlife Canada. They tend to regulate invasive species a lot more than municipal licensing and standards.
Okay. Emerald ash borer, has killed about 800,000 trees in the city of Toronto.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
Emerald ash borer in the Asian.
Well, that's an invasive insect,
Yes. So,
and I don't believe that's kept by exotic animal enthusiasts either.
pardon me?
I don't believe that's kept by exotic animal enthusiasts either.
But
Let's stick to the report itself, and
okay.
please go ahead.
So would you agree that when people keep exotic animals, turtles, for example, fish, carp, Asian carp, sometimes
They don't keep Asian carp, I'm sorry. The Asian carp are large invasive fish. They were not introduced into the environment by
Do people
exotic
keep
animal
turtles?
hobbyists.
turtles, people keep turtles,
Sure.
and turtles shouldn't be released, exotic turtles that aren't native to Ontario shouldn't be released in Ontario, correct?
Absolutely no animal that is in captivity should be released into the wild.
But they are released into the wild, unfortunately, right? You and I could go to High Park together and see them.
Sure, I believe there was an incident just recently where 2 capybaras were released into the wild from High Park.
Yeah.
They seem to be more of an amusement than any kind of public threat.
Okay. I would, so you think releasing capybaras, you think is not a threat to Ontario?
I wouldn't advocate releasing, like I said before, I wouldn't advocate releasing any captive animal into the wild.
Okay. Like we released beavers down in South America that have wiped out huge tracts of forest.
I think that's getting way off of topic here. I mean,
Okay, we are
A
getting
beaver
to
is-
a small
Okay.
debate here.
Sure, okay.
Any other questions?
No.
No. Councilor
Thank you.
James.
Just want to loop it and bring it back. I think what we have here in question is exotic animals in Toronto and how they're handled. I don't think this conversation is about special fish, invasive fish, special turtles, and all that stuff. So using that, I think was a misdemeanor. However, let's go back to the exotic animals. Do you have any interaction with children with special needs? Have you had any zoos, any children that you worked with that benefited from this?
no, I'm a private hobbyist. I keep and enjoy my animals myself. I have no financial interests or stake in this, other than as a hobbyist.
You don't, if you go to a classroom, it doesn't mean that you have a financial benefit.
I don't do that.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
but have you had display of any of your animals to children? Okay. All right, thanks very much, appreciate it.
Okay.
Thanks.